Hello students, today I am going to teach the poem No or November, which is written by Thomas Hood. It's a very interesting poem. I will explain the words, meanings and the poem line by line. So let's get started from the lesson's objectives. The learning objectives of today's lesson are to know about the poet, to explain the difficult words and expressions, to paraphrase or explain the poem, to summarize and write the theme of the poem. I am going to tell you briefly about the poet. The poet's name is Thomas Hood. Thomas Hood was a poet, a publisher, editor and humorist. He was the son of a bookseller. He was born in London and lived there for most of his life, with stints in Scotland and Belgium. Well known for his puns and comic verse, Thomas also composed poems that drew attention to the social evils of his day. Now I am going to read the poem. The title is No, which has been taken from the month of November, the first two letters of November. No. No sun, no moon, no morn, no noon, no dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day, no sky, no earthly view, no distance looking blue, no road, no street, no to other side of the way, no end to any row, no indications where the crescents go, no top to any steeple, no recognition of familiar people, no courtesies for showing them, no knowing them. No traveling at all, no locomotion, no inkling of the way, no notion, no go, no land or ocean, no mail, no post, no news from any foreign coast, no park, no ring, no afternoon gentility, no company, no nobility, no warmth, no cheerfulness, no helpful ease, no comfortable feel in any member, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds. November. Written by Thomas Hood. Now words meanings. The first word is dawn. Dawn means the appearance of light before sunrise in the morning. Dusk means the darker stage of twilight, the beginning of evening time. Earthly view, scene of the earth. Recognition, identification. Crescents. Crescents here means a series of linked buildings formed into the shape of an arc, or roadways in that shape in London. To other side, the ways, the other side of the street, of the way. Steeple means church tower. Indication means signs of information. Another word is gentility. The next word is gentility. Gentility means people from courteous and well-mannered society. A row. Row means a narrow street. Examples of such streets in London are Savile Row, Pater Noster Row, Ironmonger Row, Church Row, Rochester Row, and Rotten Row. Another expression is no inkling of the way. It means no directions, signposts, etc., which can indicate how to go from one place to another. Then there is another proper noun with the capital R, that's ring. A ring-shaped gathering place in London's Hyde Park or Regency Park. People would meet there to socialize or exchange news. The last word is courtesy. Courtesy means something done out of politeness or consideration for another person. Now I'm going to explain the poem, maybe line by line or stanza wise. There are no stanzas, but still we are trying to take chunks of the poem. First I'm going to tell something about the poem. This is Thomas Hood's poem. Thomas Hood's poem November or No is a lyric poem centering on the fog and gloom of a November day in London. He completed this poem in 1844. In the whole poem, the poet has repeated the word no. No is a negative word that has been taken from the word November. As no shows all the negative qualities of the month, no plus November, the poet justifies it that there is nothing positive in this month. The first part which I have taken from this poem, that's no sun, no moon, no morn, no noon, no dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day, no sky, no earthly view. In these lines, the poet says that due to a heavy fogginess, there is no appearance of the sun or moon. No one can get any clue of the dawn or dusk. It means morning time or evening time. Even such a vast sky is not visible, that's not seen. No one can see the earth. We cannot know as to what time of the day it is. Now the other part which I have taken from this poem, that's no distance looking blue, no road, no street, no to other side the way, no end to any row, no indications where the crescents go. It means that generally we see the blueness in the distance. It means the long spaces. But because of heavy fog and extremely poor visibility, even the nearest things cannot properly be seen. Not even the road, not even the other side of the way. The other side of the way is hidden from our vision, from our eyesight. There is no sign of any series of houses in the shape of an arc, and we have no clear idea about the directions of the roads. The other part of the poem is no top to any steeple, no recognitions of familiar people, no courtesies for showing M, no knowing M. This chunk of the poem means that due to the obscurity of fogginess, we cannot see the steeple of the church, the tower of the church. A steeple means the tower. We are not even able to see the familiar people because most of the people are confined to their houses. So that's one reason. And the other reason is that if they come out, they cannot be recognized by others because of poor visibility due to fogginess. In this part of the poem, the poet says, no traveling at all, no locomotion, no inkling of the way, no notion, no goal by land or ocean, no mail, no post, no news, from any foreign coast. So it means that the traveling and movement of the people sees as the things are not favorable for making any kind of journey, which is possible neither on road nor on ocean. Nothing is left enjoyable in this month. Letters or parcels are impossible to be delivered to or from the people living in other faraway places. News cannot come from distant regions. Here there are more 4 or 5 lines of the poem. No news from any foreign coast, no park, no ring, no afternoon gentility. No company, no nobility, no warmth, no cheerfulness, no helpful ease. In these lines the poet says that in this month no news is expected from any foreign country, from any distant region. There is no enjoyment in the park. The people don't go to London's Hyde Park. Moreover, visitors stay away from the inner rings of Regent's Park or Hyde Park, where elegant people tend to congregate. No one feels any pleasure, happiness, and healthy comfort in autumn season. Now these are the last lines of the poem. No comfortable feel in any member, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds, November. These lines mean no one feels any comfort in any phenomenon of nature in this month. How anyone will feel when there is no light, no shadow, no butterflies, no beauties of nature, no fruit, no flowers, no leaves, and no birds. All these beautiful phenomena are shrouded by fog in the month of November. Now come to the most important part of today's lesson, that is summary. In the poem November, the poet Thomas Hood describes the bleakness of a day in November because a heavy fog obscures everything. No one can see the sun, the moon, the steeples, the roadways, the park, even the faces of people on the streets. Travel ceases because of fogginess. As a result, there are no mail deliveries and no ship arriving with news from foreign countries. Visitors stay away because the autumn has stripped the leaves from the trees, killed the flowers and fruits, and banished birds, bees, and butterflies. There is nothing left to cheer for the people in this month. Thank you very much, dear students, for your patience and passive learning. In the next lesson, we would discuss question answers and other exercises. Goodbye.